Assalamu alaikum. Come on, you can do better than that. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, much better. So honored to be here on TEDxAjman. Very proud of this great opportunity. Thank you so much for coming here. Let me start with a question. How many of you is deciding on traveling to Europe or America or Asia during this coming summer? Awesome. Is everybody going for vacation or anybody going there for business? Mix. Those who've been to America before, can you raise your hand? Keep it up. Have you attended an intercultural awareness workshop about America? Nobody. Did you attend a course that is titled USA Cultural Awareness Session? So why is it today each Emirati and each Arab that his country is growing so fast with the great number of expats that visits it keeps complaining about the number of expats in the city, keeps complaining about how many expats we have coming to this region? I speak to my friends and they look at me and say, Ali, what's happening in the country? You must tell everybody. There's a lot of expats coming. I'm like, what do you mean that there's a lot of expats, coming to the country? What's wrong with that? He's like, we're losing our own identity. Back to the same word, identity. Identity. Tell me, my friend, you think because the number of expats are growing in the United Arab Emirates, you're losing your identity? He's like, yes, Ali. Okay. Let's just assume that we've invited all of our own expat friends somewhere else, like to Oman or Qatar or Bahrain, and said, just stay there for 3 nights, please. We will invite you back. Let's just stay with each other here, Emiratis. Ahmed, are you willing to put gas in my car when I come at 12 o'clock p.m.? Isa? You know how my Kandora needs to be ironed, correct? The question is, just think here for 1 second. If we basically not got rid, but if we say to all of the expats, thank you, don't come, are we really able to function all of our daily life? So the question is, if the expat number, and by the way, expats means a lot of things. We could assume that expats are all of the laborers, expats are the people that come from Europe, the expats that are coming from America, the expats are coming from Asia. But the truth is, about a week ago, the newspapers have put the new statistics of the United Arab Emirates population, 8 million living in the UAE. And only 900, less than 1 million is Emiratis. And how many British do you think we have in the UAE? Because we all know the English language comes from UK, correct? I hope so, right? It's English. If we ask all the British people, thank you, don't come, it's about 100,000. Fine, so no more British people. American people, less than 100. The rest of Europe, they will come all together. We only have about 500,000 to 1 million maximum. So how could a small number like that who speaks English, and we're speaking the language right now, can influence 1 million person in the UAE, and then we complain about it? It doesn't make sense to me. The problem is we've allowed it. We've allowed to be influenced by the Westerners more than we can influence them positively. And by the way, we've learned great things from the Westerner community in our own country. One of them is the language that I'm speaking right now. But at the same time, unfortunately, a lot of us complain every day about the number of expats. And when I look at these people, I tell them, are you aware of your values? Are you aware of being, first of all, being an Emirati, you're a Muslim. Being an Emirati, you're an Arab. Being an Emirati, you have an identity that looks like this. Dear brother, dear sister, if you're complaining about expats being in the country, look at yourself first. Are you behaving like an Emirati? And to be as an Emirati, you're open about accepting other people that is coming to the UAE. Because when this country was founded, when the United Arab Emirates was founded, the first thing that our leaders did is inviting the great teachers, scientists, doctors to come and support our own country. Do you agree or not? If you're in the generations of the 70s and the 80s, you would know that you've actually studied by a Palestinian, by a Jordanian, by an Egyptian, by a Moroccan, by Lebanese, by people from the Arab region, but we've never complained. And the question is why? We did not complain because we sort of share the same values. We share somehow the same faith. So we did not see that as a problem. Although I come from a place like Bani Yas in Abu Dhabi. And that place, to so many places around the world, like we will be making fun of each other. We will be making fun of the person whose mother comes from another country. And they will be teasing you all the way. And that was not really how the UAE was. We all lived among each other without any issues, without any problems. The country became where it is today because we welcomed everybody to it. So now allow me to tell you, if you have never attended a USA cultural awareness, and you're going to complain about the number of the expats here, then maybe you should say the following. Maybe you should really consider the following. Between understanding, you want people to understand you, correct? When you travel, you want people to know what you like and what you don't like, correct? All right. You want people to appreciate you. How many of you really hate to be appreciated? Raise your hand if you don't like someone to appreciate you. No one. All what we want is to be appreciated. But the challenge is, how can you be appreciated if you're not accepting each other? Between understanding and appreciation, there is a middle word, starts with an A. Acceptance. Don't fool yourself by saying, I do understand why the Brits do this. I understand why the Americans like this. I know why the Arabs, they have the woman walks behind the man in the mall. I understand why, because, only of this and this and that. That's not enough. Many people every day come to me and say, Ali, I've been living in your great country for about 20 years. I love your country so much. But only if we can let the women take off their hijab, that would be just the best thing for them. You've lived here for 20 years. Every day you hear Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, God the Great, God. You are in a Muslim country for 20 years and you're still fighting that we are putting the women in hijab. Why are you here for 20 years? I know why you're here, because it's safe. And hijab is part of it. Drawing that line. And therefore, I would like to share with you a quick story that happened to me about a year ago. Juanita is about this height. She's a lady from Colombia, a lovely lady, a very, very lovely lady. She spoke to me once, said, Ali, I would like to come and sit with you. I feel like I want to take you all the way to Colombia, and I want you to introduce people to your culture and things like that. And I said, okay, awesome, let's do it. She comes to my office and she says, Ali, what do you know about Colombia? And I said, it's in South America? Yes, I know that, but what do you know about the Colombian people? I'm like, they're cool, they tango a little bit, they dance. That's cool. Yeah, but what else? I said, I don't know. You tell me about it, because I feel like it's not safe. Is there any problems? How is it? Is it a safe country? Oh, Ali, we have a beautiful country. It's amazing. It's great. I really think you should visit it. I mean, in a way, we have some problems. I mean, we have some gorillas, who... You have what? We have some gorillas that live in all of these mountains, and they have a hobby. They kidnap people. Who's kidnapping people? Ali, the gorillas, the gorillas are actually in all of the mountains. And I'm like, yes, gorillas, type of monkeys, they live in the mountains. But what do you mean that they are actually, capturing people? It's like, Ali, you have no idea. They capture the people, they bring them, they come to them, and they take the knife and they put it in front of the camera and say, pay us money and we'll give you this person. If you don't pay us, we will actually take you we will kill them. I'm like, oh God, are you serious? All I'm thinking right now is, I have to call somebody in Animal Planet quickly and tell them how amazing it is to make out of this a story, you know? Like going to all the way to this big, you know, monkey style, you know, with the sword and, you know. And she's like, trust me, Ali, it is the only thing that we have, but it's all under control. I'm like, what's really under control? She's like, these gorillas, you know, they can negotiate. I'm like, not again. They also know how to negotiate? She's like, yeah. Juanita left me in the office, and I'm just like, my goodness, I wish I can meet one of these gorillas, you know? Maybe we can provide some nice sessions about things. Juanita leaves, and all of a sudden, I've called my friend, and I said to him, dude, listen, this story, you know, I'm going to tell you something. There's gorillas in Colombia. They could easily kidnap you and, you know, ask for money. Do you know how amazing this, if we put it on TV, that would be an amazing story because I'm so much into media and I want to talk about. He's like, Ali, what gorillas? I said, it's the gorillas, real ones. They can kidnap you and put you on camera and blah, blah, blah. He's like to me, Ali, it's not gorilla. It's gorilla. I'm like, what's the difference? This is a different word, Ali. Some of you probably don't know. The word gorilla, it belongs to warriors, thieves, killers who lives in the mountains, and it happened to be a French or a Spanish origin word that is actually G-O-U or E, something like that, and it says gorilla instead of gorilla. And I'm listening, and I'm like, gorilla and gorilla is the same. Then my friend says to me, it's like, Ali, it is the same thing when it comes to cultures. Sometimes we say we want this, but we mean something else, or we mean something behind it. And I couldn't help it. I went home, and I'm only thinking of something. What really went wrong? What was really the big issue here? The big issue is, every day you meet people, and ask yourself right now, when was the last time you met somebody, and they said something to you, and you're like, yeah, I know what you mean. But in reality, you have no idea. Like, Ali, I'll see you at 5 o'clock. All right, see you, inshallah, at 5 to 10, okay? Don't tell me, inshallah, please. Like, are you coming at 5:10? Or are you, what is exactly the inshallah word behind that? Like, are you coming for sure? Inshallah has nothing to do with time. It's just part of our own way of speaking, depending everything on God. But has nothing with time. And we have just stayed quiet, kept on using inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. And today, if you ask what is the biggest fear to any Westerner in the UAE, it's the word. Therefore, allow me to share one thing with you. Ask yourself now, are you aware of your values? Do you know what you're made of? Do you know when you are proud of being who you are from that country, or this nation, or that land? Do you know about your history? Do you know about your heritage? Do you know about your culture? Do you know about your faith? Do you know about your leaders? Do you know? Because you will find out that if you know, chances are today we would slightly be different people, and we would not have a lot of lack of Arabic language and openness and globalization and all of that. We would be able by today, as an Emirati people, as an Arab people living in this part of the world, we will be at least, if you're getting in the elevator, because I have no idea what's been happening today, when you get into an elevator with somebody, and the minute you see them, you say, and then he's standing in there, he's going, Salam. What I'm trying to tell you here, when we greet each other, we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Back in the days, we say, how are you, how are you doing? Assalamu alaikum, kayf al-hal, shakhbarak. Today, you get into the elevator, you see two people, you go, Salam. And then you have the reply, like if they're doing you a favor, they're going, wa alaikum salam. Like if it's such a fear that you reply. And you know what this influenced us today? It's influenced us if only you know that every single expat in this country, whether they are coming here for money or living or working, whatever, trust me, they are hungry for our own culture. They are hungry to learn about our own language. They are hungry to know. They only want you to say one thing. If he says to you, Assalamu alaikum, don't say, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? You get? Yeah, I know how to speak English. Not only you can speak English, I know how to speak English. No, if somebody comes to you, there is a research that has proved that between all of the Gulf region, we are the last country that feels happy when somebody speaks English. This is based on a research by a company that actually stayed here with a lot of secret shop experts to be going through Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the number one were actually from Oman. They love when people speak to them in Arabic and they reply back in Arabic. But here to us, we actually have the whole opposite thing. We don't like to speak it. So all I say to you is the following. Very importantly, to remember where you come from, who you are as an Emirati. It is a great responsibility. We keep speaking about vision and the vision and the vision. We're going to have a great vision in the country. We're going to have a great vision of leaders. We're going to have great visions everywhere. We forgot one thing. With vision comes responsibility, because vision is power. And the language that only have brought us all the way till today starts with an R. That's respect. We need to continue respecting our own culture, respecting our own heritage, respecting our own faith, respecting our own ancestors that actually until today we live over their own time that they have spent to put us where we are. And it is such a sad thing to see that there is a lot of our own people, unfortunately, have sort of went out of that path, not being proud of who we are, or the dress code, or the faith that we are actually basing our own life on. And this is my only message that I want to leave with everybody here today. Please, wherever you are in the world, remember your values shapes who you are. It's like a map. Without it, you get lost. Thank you very much.